we are going to talk about one of my all-time favorite things, setting goals and absolutely crushing them. Over this 3-part series, I'm going to be sharing with you my exact goal setting strategy, how I set my yearly goals, reverse engineer them, and then create the daily habits and the daily tasks so I can actually get out there and crush them. Today, we are going to talk about actually setting the goal, the big yearly goal. Now, I want to remind you something that Tony Robbins says is that people always overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year and underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. So this goal setting exercise might be slightly different than anything you've ever done before, because we're not just going to envision and imagine our goals for the next year, but really the goals that you're setting for this year, you want them to set you up for success and for the goals you have in life. So your yearly goals should not just be a simple yearly goal. It should be something that's going to help you reach one of those bigger goals in your life. Now, this is really exciting stuff, but I also want to remind you that you might have some fears around setting big goals. And I get it, because when I started my entrepreneur journey 9 years ago, I had a lot of fears around setting goals that were too big because I had fear around failure. I didn't want to set something that seemed out of reach, because if I didn't hit it and I failed, then I didn't want that feeling, honestly. A lot of times in the past when I failed, I looked at that as a place to stop, right? It didn't work. This is where I should stop. In reality, now 9 years into my entrepreneur journey, I realize that failures, because let me tell you, friend, I have failed over and over and over again along the way. And what I've learned is that as I failed forward into multiple 6-figure, 7-figure businesses, is that I've learned so many lessons, and failure isn't failure. It's not a stopping point. It's simply data. Now, we're going to set goals that we can crush, and I'm going to teach you how to reverse engineer and create the actions so you actually get after your goals. But I want to remind you of this, that if you are feeling a little bit of fear or some emotion around setting goals, I want you to really dig into that some and think about why setting a big goal might bring some uncomfortable emotions out in you, and just to know that it's okay and that we've all been there and that we all have to work through it. So don't let that stop you from doing this exercise. Your emotions, and one of the reasons why I'm going to tell you to do these steps in order to set your goals is because I want you to have really positive emotions and be really excited about doing this. I want you to be fired up about setting your yearly goals, because your emotions create your thoughts, and your thoughts create your actions, and your actions create your entire life. So that's why getting in a positive mindset, feeling really good, feeling really excited about what you're going to accomplish this year is so important. So this is what I do every year when I sit down to set my goals. The first thing I do is I turn on my favorite song. Maybe you have a playlist on Spotify that you love, or maybe just one song on repeat. Whatever it is, I want you to put that song on, and I want you just to put it on replay. I actually have a playlist that absolutely fires me up, and I put it on and I just start dancing. I get hyped. I am jumping. I am fired up. I am playing full out. I am getting my physical being and my emotional being high vibes. And so that's what I want you to do. That is step 1 to setting your goals. And you're like, Courtney, this sounds a little bit crazy, but trust me, do not miss this step. Once you are in the best mind space, mindset ever, you're going to pull out a notebook, just a blank notebook, and you're going to open it. And I want you to go to a blank page. You can keep the playlist going, right? You just need to be in that good high vibe mood. And I want you to start writing down everything that you've ever desired in these categories. The first category that you're going to write about is you're going to write about everything you've ever desired in your life, like materialistic. You're going to write down everything you've ever wanted in your life. So part one are things that you want. Maybe it's the car you've always wanted to drive, or it's the clothing or the purse. Maybe it is the house that you want to live in, or it's the things that you want to have in your life. Now, wanting things is not a bad thing. So I want you to really think, what are those things that you've always wanted that maybe you thought you couldn't have? The next area that I want you to think about are experiences. Where have you wanted to go? Where have you wanted to travel to? Have you wanted to take your entire family to Disney? Have you wanted to buy an RV and travel around the country? Do you want to go to Bali for a month? What are the experiences you've always desired in your life? The next area is your relationships. And yes, this is a goal setting exercise and goal setting series for your business, but your relationships are such a huge part of your life that they should not be ignored even when goal setting around your business, because your relationships and having good, positive, supportive relationships only help support your business. So what does that dream relationship look like? Are you in it right now? Are you searching for somebody that is your dream partner? I want you to write down those qualities and those characteristics. What does your romantic relationship look like with your spouse? Are you enjoying time together weekly, monthly? Do you travel together monthly? I want you to write down all of those things. The next area I want you to focus on is your finances. Yes, money is a good thing. More money equals more adventures and more time freedom. So I want you to write down, how much income do you want to earn this year? How much income do you want to earn in your lifetime? What is the largest yearly or annual income amount that you can imagine ever possibly hitting? I don't want you to play small here. I want you to play full out. What is that dream? And then what do you think you can actually accomplish this year? What is the income amount that would be life-changing for you this year? Maybe imagine the top month that you could have for your business, or the top day you could have for your business. I want you to write down those numbers. Is it a $10,000 day? Is it a $20,000 day? Is it a $100,000 day? Is it earning 7 figures in your business this year? Man, is it earning $20,000 in your business this year? What is that financial number that gets you fired up and also a little bit scared? Because that's okay. I want you to write them all down. The last piece that I really want you to write down and think about is contribution. Do you want to be able to contribute to your church? Do you want to be able to build the orphanage in that town that you've always wanted to, or contribute to the kids organization, or whatever it is out there that pulls at your heart that you want to give more to? What does that look like? What is the dream, the ultimate dream that you would want for your life, as far as what you can contribute to others, as far as the legacy that you can leave? Now, I know this is a lot, right? You're writing down the things that you want in life. And I'm going to give you an example. Like, if you might be a little bit stuck here, like, man, writing down everything. The first time I did this exercise, I wrote down everything from I want hair extensions because I wanted hair extensions, all the way to a private jet. I wrote down everything in between. I wrote down the dream vehicle I wanted to drive. I wrote down what my house looked like and where I lived and what I wanted it to feel like. As far as experiences, I wrote down spending a month traveling abroad to Thailand and Bali. I wrote down going to South Africa and spending time in Costa Rica. I wrote down information about my relationship with my husband that I desperately wanted, that quality time and that true connection, that true loving connection that I desired with him. I wrote down how I wanted to donate to this amazing surf community in Nicaragua that absolutely touched my heart, and how I want to be able to go down there and give money and clothes and resources to them. I wrote down that first year that I wanted to make $100,000 with my brick and mortar business. Now, the season prior to that, we had earned $35,000 with our brick and mortar business. So I thought that writing down $100,000 seemed ridiculous. My husband and I compared our lists at the end of doing this exercise together, and his said $150,000 on it. And I was like, oh, babe, I just think that might be too much. Like, I don't know. And he was like, if we don't write it down, then it's never going to happen. And I said, okay. And I wrote it down. And the end of the first year after doing this exercise, after doing this 3-step system that I'm going to be teaching you throughout this series, we finished that year at $149,000. I can't even imagine what would have happened in our business if I wrote down $50,000 or $100,000. Would I have limited myself and put out into the universe that was all I wanted? That's why I want you to dream big. Now, once you have your paper full of everything you can ever imagine, I want you to look at the list. And next to the things that you think will probably take you or could take you 1 year, I want you to write a 1 next to. Next to the things that might take you 3 years, write a 3. 5 years, write a 5. And the things that you look at, you're like, oh, dude, that is just out of control. Write a 10 plus next to. Once you have your list, I want you to look at all the things that have a 1 next to them. Now, I want you to pick out your top 3 yearly goals from this list. One of them, yes, should absolutely be business or financial related. I want to know, what is that annual income that you want to create for yourself this year with your family? And then, yes, I would 100% love for one of them to be relationship, or even one of those things that you want in your life. My first year, I picked out 3 things. I picked out that I wanted hair extensions. Back to the hair extensions. I've always just wanted really long, beautiful hair. This is my real hair right now, FYI. That I wanted to earn the $150,000 within my brick and mortar business, and that I wanted to fly home for the holidays and spend the holidays with my family. I've been working in food and beverage as well as in fitness and wellness and starting my brick and mortar business all at the same time. And if you know, working in food and beverage or working in the hospitality industry during the holidays, I live in a ski town, Christmas, New Year's, like those are money making times. So I wanted to go home for Christmas. And that first year, by writing these goals down, reverse engineering them and setting the daily habits to accomplish it. That first year, your girl had some luscious locks. I went home for the holidays. And like I already told you, my husband and I conquered our financial goals that year as well. I do this exercise at the start of every year, but you can honestly do this at any time. I want you to write down those goals. You can always put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your 3 goals, and come back next week for part 2 of this goal setting series, how to reverse engineer your goals.